Emergency flood situation in Pakistan. Pakistan is currently facing an emergency situation, particularly in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where heavy rains have caused severe flooding. Reports also indicate that a new spell of rain is expected in Punjab and Sindh, which could worsen conditions further. Authorities have advised city residents to remain cautious. According to initial information, around 300 people in Buner are at risk. Many individuals are still missing, and their whereabouts remain unknown. The floods have been so destructive that entire villages have been wiped out, leaving no trace behind so far. Reports confirm that 28 children and 74 women have lost their lives. The situation remains highly critical. Rescue and relief operations are underway, with all relevant departments actively participating. Relief camps are being set up, and food supplies worth Rs. 10,000 are being distributed to affected families. Unlike the massive floods of 2022, this disaster is more localized. Officials believe that the government has sufficient resources to handle the situation if managed properly. The provincial government of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has announced full compensation for the losses suffered by residents. This includes support for families who lost livestock, crops, trees, homes, and belongings. Chief Minister Gandapur has also announced that Rs 1 million will be provided to the family of each person who lost their life. Additionally, the government has promised to repair damaged houses. If these measures are implemented effectively, this would mark the first time in Pakistan's history that a provincial government provided complete relief and rehabilitation after a natural disaster. In the past, funds collected in the name of disaster victims were often misused, leaving citizens with little support. This time, however, there is hope that the aid will directly reach those in need. Political situation in Pakistan. Alongside the flood crisis, Pakistan is also witnessing heated political debates. A recent statement attributed to Army Chief General Asim Munir, published through journalist Sohail Warwick, has stirred controversy and widespread discussion. One of the key issues is the demand that Imran Khan should apologize. The statement purportedly compared his refusal to that of Iblis Satan, who disobeyed Allah's command to bow before Adam, while those who obeyed were called angels. The implication, according to critics, is that politicians such as Nawaz Sharif, Asif Zardari, and Maryam Nawaz are considered obedient, while Imran Khan is portrayed as a rebel for not complying. This analogy has been criticized as highly inappropriate, with many observers calling it arrogant and shocking. Some argue that it reflects an attitude within the establishment of placing itself in the position of God, demanding unconditional obedience. Surprisingly, this interpretation was published, which has raised further questions about political narratives. Meanwhile, reports suggest that Imran Khan had already prepared his stance months ago, anticipating such moves. His supporters see this as evidence that Khan remains politically ahead of his opponents, countering the establishment's strategies in advance. At the heart of the issue lies a clash of mindsets. The establishment equates obedience with loyalty, while Imran Khan insists on resisting pressure and standing firm. Surrounded by flatterers, the ruling elite continues to assert its power. But Khan's defiance highlights the deep political divide shaping Pakistan's future. Recently, Workers of the Pakistan Muslim League ingathered and claimed that investments worth 1,000 billion rupees would soon be coming to Pakistan. However, this money has yet to arrive, and many similar promises in the past have also remained unfulfilled. Army Chief General Asim Munir has been criticized for making claims that have not materialized. It is important to note, however, that this may not entirely be his fault. His professional background is rooted in the military, where training focuses on war and defense, not economic management or governance. Unlike civilians who study economics, politics, and administration, military officers are not trained to deal with complex financial or social issues. As a result, many believe General Munir may be misinformed by those around him, leading to exaggerated or unrealistic statements. Due to repeated, unfulfilled promises, public trust in his announcements has weakened. In contrast, Imran Khan has been responding to these developments well in advance. Months before, he had already declared that he would never bow to what he called the Duffer Alliance. On the 6th of August, 2025, Khan reiterated that he would not apologize or compromise, even if it meant staying in jail indefinitely. On the 2nd of August, 2025, he further stated that the Pakistan People's Party and the Pakistan Muslim League are functioning like puppets for General Asim Munir, much like the role PM Ellen played for Pervez Musharraf in the past. According to him, these parties do not act as true political forces, but instead serve as political extensions of the establishment. Under this arrangement, corruption and looting continue without accountability. Imran Khan also argued that while Pakistan's institutions have survived repeated martial laws over the past 77 years, Asim Munir's approach resembles a form of martial law that is gradually weakening and destroying those very institutions one by one. Imran Khan's statements on democracy and establishment. Khan has repeatedly accused the ruling elite of destroying democracy in Pakistan. According to him, people's votes were stolen through election fraud, and corrupt individuals were allowed to govern the country. This, he argues, has led to the collapse of democratic values, with the media silenced under strict censorship. He further claimed that through the 26th Amendment, the judiciary was reshaped into a tool of the establishment, where judges no longer stand for justice, but act in favor of Army Chief Asim Munir. Khan stated that all ongoing trials against him are politically motivated and will one day be exposed as sham proceedings. He compared certain judges to Yazid, arguing that instead of upholding justice, they are siding with oppression. On the 24th of July, 2025, Khan declared that there is no martial law in Pakistan today in name, but in practice, Asim's law prevails. He accused General Asim Munir of using state institutions, particularly the ISI, to enforce his personal will, turning his word into the law of the land. Khan likened this to the authoritarian rule of General Yahya Khan, warning that the country's reputation is being damaged internationally. Khan also alleged that his wife, Bushra Bibi, is being mistreated to pressure him into surrendering. He vowed, however, never to accept what he called the kingship of Asim Munir, describing the current establishment as an occupation group that has forcefully taken control of Pakistan. On the 15th of July, 2025, Khan reiterated his stance, declaring, that he was ready to spend his entire life in jail, but would never bow down to tyranny and oppression. He urged the Pakistani people not to submit to oppressive regimes under any circumstances, insisting that the time for dialogue was over and only dignity and resistance remained. He further warned that if anything were to happen to him in jail, Asim Munir should be held accountable. Khan also described the harsh conditions he faces in prison, stating that even convicted murderers and terrorists receive better treatment. On the 8th of July, 2025, he compared his situation to historic leaders such as Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, who were at least allowed to read and write in prison, while he has been denied such rights. He argued that behind all this lies the establishment, attempting to break him through unjust restrictions and psychological pressure. Imran Khan has vowed to continue resisting what he calls kingship and dictatorship in Pakistan. He declared that he would fight oppression until his last breath, emphasizing that the current system is nothing short of authoritarian rule. On the 4th of June 2025, Khan issued another strong statement, making it clear that he would never enter into any deal with the establishment under any circumstances. According to his supporters, this was a direct response to the column attributed to General Asim Munir, reinforcing that Khan had already given his answer well in advance. Meanwhile, journalist Shahid Aslam made a striking claim, quoting both Khan and sources within the establishment. Reportedly, during discussions in Islamabad, Army Chief General Asim Munir stated that Imran Khan would remain behind bars for 10 years unless he complied. This raised two serious questions. Did the Army chief intend to remain in power for a decade, effectively running Pakistan like a military system? And if so, was he assuring that Khan's release would not be possible during that period? Critics argue that such statements, if true, highlight the extent to which political rivalry has overshadowed justice. Khan, they stress, is not imprisoned for breaking laws, but simply because he refuses to bow before General Asim Munir. Adding to the controversy, on the 16th of August 2025, Pakistan witnessed another disturbing episode. Citizens who carried photos of Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and waved Pakistan's national flag during a campaign were arrested in Lahore. Shockingly, even women who took part in the activity faced police cases and detentions. This sparked outrage, as it suggested that honoring the country's founding father was being criminalized. Observers described the current situation as deeply troubling. On the one hand, a former prime minister languishes in prison for defying the establishment. On the other, ordinary citizens face arrests simply for showing national pride. In recent weeks, disturbing reports have emerged about the treatment of Pakistan's national icons and the state of press freedom. Observers have noted that while military figures and officials are prominently featured on posters and hoardings, the images of Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Fatima Jinnah, and Allama Iqbal are increasingly absent. Even more troubling, citizens who carry pictures of these national leaders during public gatherings are reportedly being detained and in some cases charged. This has raised questions about whether the government views Quaid-e-Azam's vision as a threat to its current policies. Critics argue that suppressing the legacy of Pakistan's founding father undermines the very principles upon which the nation was built. Adding to the country's troubles, Pakistan has once again been ranked among the most dangerous places in the world for journalists, coming second globally, according to recent data. This ranking was reinforced by a tragic incident in Karachi. Dawn news reporter Kabar Hussain was found dead in his car near a private hotel on Hyderabad Road in Sanghar. Police recovered his blood-soaked body, noting a gunshot wound to the temple. A pistol was also found in his hand, raising questions about whether he attempted to defend himself or was framed. His killing has sparked outrage among media workers, with the Reporters Association demanding a full and transparent investigation. Authorities have promised to review CCTV footage and take notice of the incident. But journalists argue that such assurances have been repeated many times before without meaningful results. The combined picture is bleak. Suppression of Pakistan's founding icons in public life and the growing dangers faced by journalists paint a troubling image of shrinking freedoms in the country.